what letter grade do we give the Vikings on deciding not to do this deal?
Boy, that's it's tough. I mean, I kind of give them almost like a B plus because I think at some point you had to get off the roller coaster. You just know this is not going where we want it to go. Like you talked about with the end game for the Falcons with Kirk. We know the end game for the Vikings was just, it's just, this is what it is. And it's really not good enough. It was fine. They had some great moments. I think they won a couple division titles with Kirk, a playoff win. And, they weren't terrible, but I think every Vikings fan knew in their heart they are not winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. And if you're not, then what's the point? But I look at it this way too with the Vikings. Who the heck is their quarterback on opening day? Where do you even go? What's your next move? They don't have the type of draft pick where you just can lock in a quarterback to start week 1 and feel good about it. So it might get scary here for the Vikings, especially in an NFC North that's improving. The other 3 teams are getting a lot better. The Vikings are really going into a scary situation, and that's why teams overpay quarterbacks, because now the Vikings are looking and saying, man, okay, finally, we broke it off with Kirk. We had to get out of that relationship, as toxic relationship. But now who's your starter on week 1? That's a question you got to answer. And I'm not sure the Vikings answer is very good.
I might give it a D for the Vikings. And it's because of what you just said. Like, look, they're picking 11th in this year's NFL draft. The likely best case scenario is that they find themselves with the 4th, maybe the 5th best quarterback in this year's draft. So if you end up with the 5th best quarterback in this year's draft, and that 5th best quarterback ends up being Kirk Cousins, let's be really clear here. You got lucky. Like the 5th best quarterback being Kirk Cousins means you got lucky. Everybody else screwed up the evaluation. You were the one team smart enough to find the guy. If you're a Vikings fan, you believe Bo Nix is going to have a better career than Kirk Cousins. Maybe you're right. But are you banking that, especially when you have Justin Jefferson looking over here to get the bag and get paid? Like, what is your sales pitch to Justin Jefferson to even want to stick around? So, like, this just feels like a disaster for $100 million, which for an NFL team is chump change.
It is, but I think you'd agree that they weren't winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins, right?
Right.
So then what's the point? Like, I'm not saying Bo Nix is going to win a Super Bowl for him either, but try something else. I just think the Vikings were in that spot of try something else, because this is just not getting us where we need to go.